So somebody asked, hey, can you do a tutorial on this? So here's my shot at kind of breaking things down. So I'm going to go over two things, that type of a riff, and then working on some fills that could be like double stops. So, because otherwise this lesson could be a long, long, long lesson, and you know how that goes. So the idea is I'm going to do an A chord right there. What we're doing is it's very bluesy, and we're going to slow it down a lot because that's how you get good at things. Just like when you speak a language, you don't speak it fast right away. You try to learn it and take time so you can hear all the nuances and whatnot. So we're doing this in the key of A. What's happening is we're going to do that minor major thing a lot of the blues does. You know, the sound. That sound. That da da bum, and then da da da. Same thing. So that's the sound of it, but technically what we're doing was adding our middle finger to the 3rd fret on the A string, then our ring finger on the 4th fret. So we got this open, and then we got the 4th string with the, you know, what we're barring right there, the E note. It's the 2nd fret on the D string. It's a 4 with our ring finger. So open, triplet 3 and 4 and the triplet 3 and 4 and so it's, you know, it's that old classic blues sound. So we got, and that's the rhythm. So it's 1 and triplet 3, hammer on between the middle finger and the ring finger. And again, we don't want to rush too fast like that. See how I started getting a little bit fast? Instincts want you to do that because you heard the original. You want to hear it like 1 and triplet 3 and 4 and 1 and triplet, or even slower. 1 and triplet 3 and 4 and 1. It's like one of those heavy nights of drinking type of a sound of a guy who can't get up from a chair, you know. You want to play sluggishly like that. Don't get too hasty, because that guy ain't going to be too hasty either. So what I just did at the end is I'm doing some sort of double stop. So I'm adding G and B, which is 5 and 4, 5th fret, 4th fret. On the D string, G string, you can see ring finger to middle. Then 4th fret, 2nd fret, which is F sharp A. So, and then you're thinking, well, how do you know to play those? That's all based off the scale of A mixolydian. And you're thinking, oh, it's modal or whatnot. Yeah, it's modal, but it's just basically a major scale, but instead of, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is flat, so it's G instead of G sharp. So you get the sound of, that's that blues sound. So it's not, that's more of that like happy, you know, whatever sound. We can all use whatever words you want to use, right? Just think of a word. That's what it sounds like. So you're no, let's argue about this. So that's what I'm doing right there. I'm using part of those notes. Notice I'm not using G sharp right there. It's right? That sounds horrible. Not for blues, it sounds bad. So you don't want to use the G sharp. Now listen to the G natural with that. So the 5th fret instead of 6th fret on the D string. So see, that sounds more like it. So we're going, and this is just stuff I'm improvising. I'm not really thinking, okay, well, it has to be this, it has to be that. A lot of the blues is you take licks or certain phrases and you use it, but then you try to, it's just like vocabulary words. You're not going to, when you learn a word, you're not going to always have to use it the same way in the sentence every single time. You're going to use that word, but there might be a new sentence you use it in, but it's still got a meaning that you're trying to use. Otherwise, you're just using words that you don't know how to fit into sentences, or you only use it in that sentence, and that's the only time I'm going to use it. So blues and jazz and things like that, improv, you try to take liberties with it, but you start slow because you don't want to get so ahead of yourself. You don't know how to keep up with what you're playing because your mind should be in control. That's why we're starting slow. We're not going, because if I started doing that too fast for me, I just start, it doesn't make sense. And then I start, it's skipping beats or, stuttering. It happens. So number 2, we're going to do double stops. Double stops is just a fancy word for 2 notes at once. So, like that. So the ending was a couple notes, but most of that was double stops. And what I'm doing to do that is I'm using scales. So we got this A, right? Bar chord like this. If you don't know how to play this chord, just look up an A bar chord. If you don't know the scales, I'm just using a couple. A lot of them, we mix them. A lot of blues is like the blues scale, which means that you just got your, sharp 4 to 5. That sound. And then we got the Mixolydian, which is again that G for the A. It's that, but it's a major scale. Blues scale. And then we got the minor scale. And then we're all mixing it right there. So what I'm doing with this is using the 5th string for the E string and the B string. And then 5th fret, 7th fret, because they both share those notes in the scale, because this doesn't sound good because that's not part of the scale right there. So we're using scalar notes for these double stops, and that's the minor, and we got the 7th, so we got kind of Chuck Berry-ish, right? So right, that's the sound. It's double stops, and so we've got. So what I'm doing right there is I'm going 5, 7, 8, 7, 5, and then 7 on the B and the G string, 2nd and 3rd string. And then I'm going to do so I'm doing a hammer-on from the 7 to 8, and then pull off. That's kind of tricky to do, but you can do it with whatever finger kind of works with you. It seems more easy for me to do the middle to ring, but I haven't practiced it with my ring to that, but you can do that. And then I'm going to add that major at the end. So I'm slowing it down. I'm not singing it perfect, but I'm hearing it in my head. So sometimes it's good to audibly do that. You don't have to be a vocalist to do this stuff, because it's going to make your mind think about it more instead of just muscle memory. Because you're trying to sing something, it's going to sound more melodic. It's just like a singer, you're going to practice all this stuff, but when you start trying to combine all these words or thoughts, you want to be able to articulate it in a way that your mind is thinking of it, not your fingers, because then it starts sounding mechanical. And we all fall into this sometimes, and it's not always easy to get out of, but if you start slow like this, I think that's some of the best advice that I've had is start slow. So if I'm doing this and I'm not new to this technique, I'm going to go super slow, like probably. And that's what I'm thinking. So if I'm going to work on that, even slower, and you're throwing that in. So if I'm going, See what I mean? And then I'm just starting to add chord shapes based off of, because there's so much you can start learning. Again, this tutorial could be forever if I keep going with, oh, well, there's another idea. So maybe I'll do another one, but if anything, I don't know how long this is already. I'm not splicing things together. It's just a solid take. And, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. I do teach lessons. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thanks for interacting. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, awesome. So, tip of the hat to you. Well, I hope you have a good day and be doing some more of these. Thank you.